Hello crew and welcome back to another episode of Captain's Quarters. Today we're in my kitchen and I'm gonna show you how to make spaghetti the Captain way. Now let's get a list of ingredients that you're going to need to make this dish. First off, you're gonna need 2 cans of San Marzano tomatoes. You can tell that they're San Marzano tomatoes because they say made in Italy on them. You're gonna need 2 big old cans of those. You're gonna need some fresh basil. Fresh basil, you're gonna need 1 roughly chopped brown onion, 1 roughly chopped green bell pepper, 2 pounds of meat, 1 pound of lean ground beef, and 1 pound of Italian sausage. You can do mild Italian sausage or spicy Italian sausage. It's up to you. That's your choice. Then you're gonna need some seasonings, crushed red pepper, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, onion powder, and of course, black pepper, good old salt. Then of course you're gonna need olive oil, just a little bit of olive oil. Tomato paste in a tube or in a can, whatever you have available. And last but not least, butter. Now, sit tight, relax, and let's jump into the pot. So, here I have a big saucepan, or pot, whatever you want to call it. And we're just gonna add a little bit of olive oil to the pot over medium to low heat. Gonna let that get nice and warmish, I guess. Then we're gonna add some fresh garlic to it. It's hot. Just a couple spoonfuls. Mix that around in there. Let it get aromatic, and to that we're gonna add chili powder. Now this is where all your heat's gonna come from. It's totally up to you how much you wanna add. If you want it spicy, you're gonna have to add quite a bit of it. But a little heat never killed anybody, I always say. And to that, you're also gonna add your dry Italian powder too. This cooking of the dry herbs unlocks the flavor. Now, as soon as everybody's got to know each other really well, you're gonna wanna add your onions in to bring some moisture to the pot. We're also going to add our green bell pepper. Let that go for a second. Just till everything is translucent. You really want to suck up those flavors at the bottom of the pot. Just going to add a tad bit more of the Italian seasoning. A little bit more red pepper. So I like my spaghetti spicy. Two pounds of good old ground beef. Throw that on in there. That's where your black pepper is gonna come in. And our salt. I don't have a measurement for any of these things. You kind of have to eyeball it. You'll get a good sense of how much you should put in it. You always want to taste your stuff too. So as soon as we get the sauce going, we're going to make sure we taste it periodically. So now the meat has had a chance to suck up everything and it's going to create some moisture. Now, it's very important that you use a low-fat ground beef. You're going to get all of the fat from your Italian sausage. So you want your beef to be as lean as possible. Now all the meat is almost done cooking together and the onions have gone fully translucent. They're just releasing their flavor into the meat. And that's what we want here. Just a couple more seconds for this meat to finish fully cooking. Then we'll go on to the next step. Once the meat is good and cooked up, we're gonna add a couple squeezes of our tomato paste inside of the mixture. If you're using a can, they usually come in about little cans. I would say add enough to make sure everything turns a nice red tint. You're gonna wanna mix the tomato paste into the meat and make sure it has a chance to cook down a little bit. I think I'm gonna need to add a little bit more because I got a lot of meat here. Cooking for a lot of people. Well, lost the cap. That's cool. Once the tomato paste has been fully incorporated into the meat, it's time to add our San Marzano tomatoes. Yes. Just gonna dump the whole can in there. Make sure you get all of that delicious sauce out. There goes one can. Here comes can number 2. Love that sound. Now these tomatoes are whole. You're just gonna want to give it a good stir and then crush the tomatoes with your spatula on the side of the pot. Make sure everything gets all homogeneous in there. Yes sir, using whole tomatoes for tomato sauce from a can. This will give us a nice, chunky, thick, and rich sauce. Everybody loves that. Once you've got all of the tomatoes broken up and squished down, then you're gonna wanna let it simmer for 1 whole hour. I almost forgot. We need to add the basil. Let me go ahead and finish crushing up these tomatoes and then we will go ahead and add the basil. Now, I'm just gonna add 3 big sprigs of basil. Give that a stir in there, and we're gonna wanna let this sauce boil and do its thing for 1 whole hour. No more, no less. You don't have to guess. Put that heat on a medium level, cover it with a lid, and just set it and forget it. Now, we'll be back in 1 hour to check on our sauce. Now that we've let our sauce simmer for about 45 minutes, it's very important to give your sauce a nice taste. You're gonna wanna adjust the levels to your likings. So now I'm just gonna add a little bit of salt and that butter. And we're gonna add a whole stick of butter. That's gonna really bring out the flavors. Now is a good time to get your spaghetti boiling. Now that the sauce is done, it's time to add the noodles to the sauce. And I know some people don't like to add their noodles to the sauce, but I do, because I'm lazy. I don't want to make individual plates. Thanks for watching today's episode of Clam's Quarter. Hope you enjoyed the spaghetti recipe. Happy cooking. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Clam out. No, I'm not gonna dabble in it. Sorry guys. See you next time.